experience. Seasons in the weather. Right now, it's winter. It's 50 degrees outside. It's supposed to be snowing here. We get snow in the winter. We've had none. Our grass is green. Nothing's happening. It's trying to rain again for like the 40th day in a row. Seasons, right? Welcome to Simply Living It. It has been a while since I have been able to sit down and film a video for you guys, but I am excited to be hopefully creating more space in my schedule for sharing encouragement with you all here in this space. It has been, let's see, January is 7 years that I have been sharing our homeschooling journey, starting out with homeschool curriculum, kind of morphed into like some recipes, then it kind of morphed into like biblical encouragement, motherhood, marriage. Now I'm kind of just open-handed and gonna share whatever the Lord lays on my heart to share. So here we are. It is 2026, which is crazy. 2025 was an incredible year of growth in obedience, miracles upon miracles upon miracles, and just incredible. I can't even begin to recount 2025 to you guys. We would be here all day. I would love it, but you guys have a life. So sharing a little bit more over on Instagram than I have here in the YouTube space. That's kind of where I've been a little bit more present. Not a ton, but I share what the Lord encourages me with over there. So if you are on Instagram and you want to follow us over there, you can find our link in the description box down below. I did have to start a different account, blah, 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 all that silly stuff. So it's linked down there if you want to check that out. The things I recently shared over on Instagram that the Lord has been teaching me so heavily. And it's interesting to me because it's almost like he brings circumstances and friendships and people into our lives. I know this for so many different reasons, but I have a couple friends who are younger than me, and that also means their kiddos are younger. So they've got kiddos in the little like Lego building stage, making sounds with trucks. A season that is, my kids now build and mechanic on actual real pickups. So I'm not stepping on Legos all day, every day. I'm not getting to hear all those little sounds that my little boys once made as they were building Lego tracks all over our house and dumping an entire box of Legos in the living room. We do it all again the next day. So today's message is just a bit of encouragement for the season that you're in as a mom and not looking back to what was before, right? We're not going that direction. We're not going backwards in time. The Lord doesn't want us to stay stuck in that season. He has us in the season that we are in right now. Time is a thief, but today is a gift. Do not waste your today looking back at yesterday. And it's incredible to me how much the Lord encourages me with this, but also fills my heart and soul to encourage others in this, because my boys are all teenagers now. I have one who is, my boy's basically 18, one who's almost 18, one who's almost 16, and one who is turning 13 in a couple weeks. So 3 teenagers. I was a homeschooling mom of 3. Our oldest graduated a year early last year. So 2025 was a big shift. We've officially been in this house now for 2 years, which is crazy. We're almost done with remodeling it, which is insane. Looking back over that time, but then yet 2025 as a whole, the miracles in health that we had seen, the Lord had come in and just blown me away. Like stepping out and saying yes to the Lord in certain areas and watching him do what only he can do in those situations and in those circumstances is incredible. And I will never, never, never stop thanking him. And it just builds my faith even more. And now being a homeschool mom of 2, right? I was homeschooling 3 children for the last 12 years. And all of a sudden now I'm homeschooling 2. There's a shift and an adjustment, and those 2 has a job. So we need to have our homeschooling stuff done within a certain amount of time. So seasons, right? It all comes back to the seasons and the shifting and what the Lord is wanting to teach you in the season that you are in. And I talked about this. It's so crazy to me. I talked about this at the first retreat in April, the very first Rooted and Renewed retreat that I said yes to doing, partnering with the Lord on that. And it was incredible. We said yes to another retreat in November. Incredible. And both of these retreats, we talked about seasons. And then at church on Sunday, we finally found a church, a local church. Been a Christian for, I think, almost 10 years now. And we just now finally found a church, like a building. I know we are the church as people. I know we are the church. Loved having church here at home for a while, church with friends. It's been incredible. It's looked very different, but it's been kind of fun to have a place that is a church building that we can visit also. Interesting, because what they spoke about this last Sunday was about seasons, and it's such a prevalent, like everywhere thing, because there are seasons everywhere. You see seasons in your health and fitness life and journey. You see seasons in motherhood where you're raising your children, where they're infants, right? Or newborns, and then they turn into toddlers. And then when they're toddlers, you're waiting for the stage when they're no longer toddlers. And then they get a little bit older and you're waiting for the stage when they're teenagers. We're always just, it seems like as humans, it's our nature to be looking forward to the next season. Or in my case, I was looking back. I find it where I'm at in this season so easy not to look so far ahead, but I find myself looking back to these friends, right, who have children that are younger, much younger than my kiddos, watching them play Legos on the floor, watching them build things and the sounds that they make, and filling up the bathtub with water to float their Lego boats. Like, all these things are things that my children did, and it's so bittersweet to me. And there's a piece of me that I think will always and forever long for that, because we're moms, and that was a bittersweet time, and that time has passed, but now we're in another beautiful season. So they're both incredibly valuable, both seasons, all seasons that we go in. Like, I don't believe that the Lord calls us into any season that is wasted. He doesn't waste anything. So being in this season where I'm at with my boys right now, if I'm spending all of my time longing and yearning for what was before, I'm missing the gift of the season that He's given me today. If I'm missing the season in our homeschool that was all unit studies and all of us together, and there was just something about that, my kids playing Legos on the floor while I read a book to them, it's very different now. And we have to be pretty strict on our time frame, because if not, we don't get our stuff done, because my son has a job that he loves and he's thriving in. While I loved that season, I can look back on that season with joy and gladness and gratefulness that the Lord has allowed me to homeschool my boys all along and thus far. It's an incredible gift, an incredible blessing, a very strong responsibility. Like, it is a responsibility that we are taking on to homeschool our children and to do it the way that I believe the Lord has called us to homeschool. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in the next video. In the season presently that the Lord has us in and resting in it. Going through some of the hardest seasons I've ever gone through is when I felt the Lord with me more than any other time in my life. The Lord taught me in that season. I would have never learned had I not gone through that season. So while we can talk about seasons in homeschooling, right, what it looks like now versus what it looked like when I was homeschooling toddlers, we can talk about seasons in our faith journey where we're on those mountaintop seasons versus those seasons where we're in the valley and we feel like we are never going to come out of that to the mountaintop. We can talk about those seasons in our marriage where marriage is just hard, where we feel like we're not connecting, where we feel like we're maybe struggling or we're not communicating well, or something is lacking, or even something as simple as dates. Getting away, like when your kids are young, your date night consists of going to get groceries. That's your date night. Now, our children are older, so we can go out to dinner a little more often together. We can have date nights and adventures that are maybe not something we could have really enjoyed in a different season of life. We talk about seasons of weather. Like, these are all things we think about and things that we live through. Yet we're so hard on ourselves when we enter a different season of life. These are all things we know and all things we experience. I love to encourage women. I love to share our journey with you all, to encourage you. Place up, I've been there. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still learning and growing. That's why I'm talking about seasons. We go through different seasons. We go through different things in life. The Lord calls us into seasons. Seasons are a very biblical thing. Therefore, I feel like we need to change our perspective. I needed to change my perspective. That's what I shared on Instagram. My perspective of always looking back and missing those days and longing for those days when my boys were little and I could snuggle them and we'd play Legos together and we would all snuggle up on the couch and read a book together, or we would paint together because we all wanted to paint. We're in a different season now. Not that we can't still do those things, but it looks different. That doesn't mean my heart doesn't still enjoy that or treasure that or long for those times, but it looks different now. And if I'm spending so much time looking backwards at that season, I'm missing the gift that the Lord has given me today, which is today. His mercies are new every morning. Today is where he has me. Today is what I want to be faithful in and with, to do what he's called me to do today. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Yesterday's in the past. Like, we all know these things, we hear these things, but for some reason it's so easy to get stuck in them. So my encouragement to you is simply take this verse. His mercies are new every morning. Today's a new day. Don't look at tomorrow. Don't carry the weight of tomorrow. You're not there yet. Don't put on the past because you're not going that way. That's weighing you down. Sit and be present in today, in the season he has you in today, because he wants to show you something. He wants to teach you something. He wants to refine you in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, you wouldn't be where you are. That's the Lord, to take you in. He wants to refine you. He wants to nurture you. He wants to teach you something. He wants to make himself more real to you in this season. He wants you to learn how to trust him more, how to depend on him more, right? Maybe it's with your finances, letting go of things. Whatever that looks like for you, maybe that's saying yes to homeschooling. I don't know. I don't know what season you're in. I know what season I'm in, which is a whole different season of trusting the Lord. My oldest is getting prepared to go out of town for a week for work. And like, what? He's going to be a ways away from me for a whole week. That's crazy. We've never done this before. It's a very different season. It's beautiful, but it's different. It's a different season of homeschooling two kids. It's a different season in my life, in my faith journey, where the Lord is asking me to step out in faith and obedience again when I don't have all the answers. I don't have even half the answers. None of them. I've got none of them, honestly. I don't know how it's going to all work out. I don't know where he's calling us to go. I don't know. But I'm not supposed to know that. And if I did, if he gave me those details first and then I said yes, that's not faith, right? The key to obedience is the stepping out in faith and obeying where your Heavenly Father is calling you to go. That key is like the faith, and the faith and surrendering in the season that you're in, because he's wanting to do something in and through you. Maybe you're in a season of homeschooling and you never wanted to homeschool, but the Lord led you to it and you're doing it and you're being faithful. Stay true to that. Be faithful to finish what he called you to do. That's a word for me too. It's so easy for me to get distracted. I don't want to do a million different things, but I know he's called me to homeschool until I hear otherwise. And that was 13 years ago. So we're still here and doing it, right? It's a season. It's going to be gone. But this season right now is preparing me for the next season that he has for me, for my family, for our children, for our marriage. There's a purpose in every season. There's growth in every season. There's a lesson in every season. He's close to you in every season. Surrender and embrace the Lord who wants to lead you through the season. It doesn't have to be comfortable. It's not going to be easy, really. But we can choose to embrace it. It's going to happen either way. The season's going to happen either way. You either choose to embrace it and see it as a gift. See each new day as a gift. Today is a gift and a treasure. I want to steward it well. I want to steward my time well. I want to steward those that the Lord brings into my line, like my path. I want to steward the resources he's given me. I want to do well what he's asked me to do for today. That's the whole point of this video. I hope that that encourages you. I hope that it helps you to see seasons differently and truly the surrendering process of the season and embracing the season instead of fighting it and resisting it, because it's going to happen anyway. So we can choose to rest in that season. If he's calling you into a season of rest. If he's calling you into a season of stepping away, step away. Whatever he's calling you to, trust him, obey him, believe that what he has for you in this season is good, because it is. You're going to come out on the other end, and then it's going to be great. And then you're going to step into another season, because that's life. It's always ever changing. Pray that that message encourages you today, because I believe that so many of us mamas need to hear that. I myself need to hear it clearly if it's been spoken to me over the last, or brought up, 3 times over the last year in a very powerful way. It matters. The Lord's trying to teach us something in that. So I believe we are to surrender that, to rest in the season with gratitude where he has us. Doesn't mean we have to enjoy the season. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, because not really, life isn't easy. He never promised that, ever. So if you're in a good season, embrace it. If you're in a hard season, it doesn't have to feel good or easy or enjoyable, but he gives you joy in that season. He can give you joy in that season. If you seek him, if you surrender this season to him and let him do what he wants to do in and through you, that's the key. I'm so grateful for this time with you. I pray you have a blessed day. We'll talk soon.